Hey everyone, you are on the 14th Step, a podcast about addiction and recovery. My name is Mark. I'm a professional counselor and a recovering addict.
Hey, my name is Skip, and I'm a recovery coach and a recovering addict. You know, I was watching Joe Rogan's podcast this week, and he had Anthony Kiedis. I hope I'm saying that right. The singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I think that's right.
And he has had struggles with addiction his whole life.
Yeah, major.
And he actually talks about that a little bit. I wanted to play it for you and see what you think about it, okay?
Let's check it out.
So check it out.
How did you get on the road, the drug road?
Well, I think the road was already in me from birth. Combination of predisposed to addiction physically, and then emotionally, I developed the tendencies that I needed to squash some of the noise. Spiritually, a little depleted. So I started smoking weed and loved it. It was a very fun and at the time subversive thing to be a part of. Like today, it's pretty damn common. But then it was very outlaw as a young teenage boy. And years went by and there was no problem. And then I started introducing narcotics at a pretty young age and really had nothing to say about it anymore. I was like the caboose of a train, just going wherever the hell that train said to go. It was interesting and it was exciting, but it was also painful as hell. It was just like, in the end, this is a life of suffering. Fortunately, you know, my destiny was meant to survive that. And
Yeah, that's very, very eloquently said.
It is, and he used a metaphor there of being a caboose.
He's being, that engine is taking him on that.
Dragging him.
Yeah, and he has no control.
No idea where he's going, right?
That's right.
And to me, what that says is when you start the fight of trying to become sober, you have to work your way up from the caboose to where you're the engine driving that train.
Yep.
And that, for all of us, that train's different length, right? Some people, it may be 5 train cars. Mm-hmm. Some of us, it may be one of those freight trains that's 300 cars. And you're working your way up to be the engine. If you're not the engine, trust me, in the world we live in today, something will become your engine and you will be drug around.
You know, he's talking about this predisposition and something that was already in him before he ever picked up. And I think we addicts, before we pick up, carry around so much pain and so much baggage that when we discover something that resonates with us, for him it was marijuana, and then he kind of graduated onto harder drugs, that becomes irresistible.
Completely.
Because it's a solution to what we're carrying around already. Whether that's trauma in the past, whether that's our own, we're not real well equipped to handle life on its own terms. When we find something that changes that fixes that numbs us out, that provides an escape, man, that becomes it. It becomes so, it sets off that obsession.
Oh, man. And you know what? It's a solution for a little while, right?
For a little while, it's the more of an effective solution than you can even imagine.
Right. And then like what he said, it turns it around and it becomes the biggest problem of a list of 1,000 problems. And then it just turns into a life of suffering.
It's like you're carrying around this big backpack full of rocks. And your whole life you're carrying around, and you find that thing that finally lets you put it down. And you feel that relief. The problem with that solution is while you're sitting there and that bag is on the ground, there's more rocks being added to it. So when you pick it up again, it's heavier. And then it becomes its own perpetuating cycle of misery.
Because it gets heavier and heavier.
It does.
And heavier.
And the only realization that we can come to is that I am not able to put a mind or mood altering substance into my body.
Yes.
I just can't do it.
Mm-mm.
And then I have to learn how to live with that, whatever that looks like. Like you said, I have to start moving toward that engine and start taking control with help. We don't have to do it alone.
You don't. And that phone may feel like it weighs 100 pounds, but you got to pick it up and ask for help. Because I'm plagiarizing from people that I watch on there, but life after you become sober can be very, very good.
Better than you could even imagine what the drug solution was.
That's right.
Because it's more fulfilling.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Thank you.